I'm living my most abundant reality. Bench pressing these blessings, miracles. Hey y'all. Welcome to this edition of Kingdom Things Podcast with me, Nicole Phillips. This rendition is a new style for the Kingdom Things Podcast community. This is part one of the convening, the shift. Now, within Kingdom Things Podcast, again, my name is Nicole Phillips. Within Kingdom Things Podcast, I use my shaman mama capabilities, my extrasensory perception, my connection to the oneness of all things, my multidimensionality, my mediumship gifts, my psychic abilities to channel energies and messages, wisdoms from all over divine creation of the oneness of all things or limitless potentials, or my Akashic record, or the Akashic record, in order to assist as we humanity to co-create with the multiverse, Kingdom Things Podcast with Nicole Phillips, to assist as we awaken in the masses to the remembrance that we are limitless potentials or formless, omnipotent energies, sentient, limitless energies, having a human experience or the illusion of finite form or individuality, dimensionality within this creation that can dwell within space and time as well as supersede space and time. Infinite paradigms, limitless potentials, in order to assist with this experience within space and time as well as beyond space and time, infinite potentials with the experience, illusion, paradigms of limitation, being human, galactic beings, dimensions of the galactic creation, in order to assist with the evolution of the energy or the potentials that is all things, the limitless potentials that is all things, most commonly termed as God, Shekinah, Hashem, the Most High, Prime Source, Brahman, and many other names within our humanism, within our synaptical understanding culture of this ascension cycle of humanity, of our ascension cycle of humanity, being human beings of planet Earth. Oh, yes. I'm going to say it now. I just got a divine revelation alert, y'all. Divine revelation alert. This is not the divine revelation, but I am the biblically prophesied Messiah, the Jewish culture why they waited Mashiach, the Hindu culture prophesied Kalki, full circle moment alert. So are you. Why Ashley? We are one energy, manifested as many. What I have in me, you have in you. What you have in you, I have in me. Our unique frequential patterning, or however we show up in any moment, that is the makings of us, or our souls, our unique soul journeys, our unique authentic soul frequency, fragrance, our unique soul fragrance that contributes to the oneness of all things, or our preferences that we choose, that amalgamate, accumulate to the summation that is our soul's pattern in any moment, or who we show up as in any moment, who we manifest as in any moment, as divine beings called humanity, of planet Earth, of this realm, of this dimension of creation. This is divine revelation, y'all. I say I'm the biblically prophesied Messiah. I say that at the beginning of every installment. This is a divine revelation. Divine revelation alert. I said humanity, the way we perceive God, Shekinah, Hashem, Prime Source, the Most High, those are our synaptical understandings as humanity of planet Earth within our ascension cycle of creation. I just received, I got this divine revelation a few months ago. I understood that this was a thing already a few years ago. I channeled this from my soul space. There are many parallel universes, or parallel realities with human beings of planet Earth of different ascension cycles, or different soul consciousness evolution as a collective. And we're going to start merging together, or start being perceptive of each other, which is super dynamic and super cool and powerful. And I'm understanding we've always only been doing this. Our conscious awareness of this is what's changed. It's changing. I'm going to link below Ways of Creation. I have 2 installments of title Ways of Creation, Kingdom Things podcast. I'm going to link both below. Because that's where I first got I got a lot of really cool understandings about the workings of reality. See right now, so Ways of Creation, there's 2 installments titled Ways of Creation. I'll link both below. I'll put part 1. The first one I did, when I channeled about that'll be the installment where I channeled about the different parallel realities, parallel timelines of humanity. I'll put Kingdom Things Podcast Part 1 next to the link. Kingdom Things Podcast, Ways of Creation Part 1 next to the link, and then I'll put the other Ways of Creation, which it's dated. There's a date next to it. All of the Kingdom Things Podcast transmissions are timeless, but I put the date in the title of the second Ways of Creation installment that I co-created with the multiverse or the divine potentials, so you'll know the difference. Ways of Creation, next to the link, I'll title it Part 1. That's where I talk about the different ascension cycles, as well as the Anunnaki of Nibiru being a constant. The Anunnaki of Nibiru, Anunnaki beings intervening with the evolution of the ancient Sumerians and Mesopotamia's evolution. There are Anunnaki of Nibiru and other Anunnaki beings that indoctrinated the DNA of the ancient Sumerians of Mesopotamia, and this happened across of all timelines of humanity's evolution. That's Ways of Creation Part 1 next to the link. The actual installment is not titled Part 1, it's just Ways of Creation. But in the link in the description of this Kingdom Things Podcast installment, I'll put a Kingdom Things Podcast Part 1 next to the link. But the actual installment is not, it doesn't say Part 1, it just says Ways of Creation. The second Kingdom Things Podcast installment, where I channeled a lot of divine wisdoms when it comes to the worlds behind the worlds, or interdimensional workings, multidimensional workings of our divine creation. That is us, that we are. That's Ways of Creation with the date and the title. These are both going to be linked in the description of this Kingdom Things Podcast installment. I'm going to be candid. So I say, divine revelation alert. Our timelines are coming together. We've always only been doing this. Our eyes are opening. Our consciousness is expanding to perceive this. So there are many channelers that channel just like myself, and from their inner space, Bena, intuitive knowledge, wisdoms, and share their wisdoms on platforms just like myself, YouTube and otherwise. You can find Kingdom Things Podcast with Nicole Phillips on YouTube as well as Spotify. Elizabeth April, she's a channeler that's widely known in, spiritual, esoteric communities. Myself, and she tells a story how she's pretty much been, enlightened all of her life, Elizabeth April, and how she started expanding her spiritual practice when she was like 18. That might not be so accurate. I'm trying to remember a story she told within her channel. Myself, different ascension cycle. So I was catalyzed onto my rapid spiritual. Elizabeth April, she's in her early 30s, just like me. Different ascension cycle. I was catalyzed unless it's a Mandela effect pops up somewhere and she's like, no, sister, No, Ashley Pooh. Baby, I'm 27. I'm like, oh, shoot, Mandela effect. I'm just kidding. Oh, shoot. Okay, so, you know, last time I checked the space-time continuum, she's like, I'm in my early 30s, right? I'm in my early 30s. Ageless being truly. Energy trillions and trillions of years old. I mean, eons. So she's been on her, you know, conscious spiritual path for, you know, over, you know, for decades, right? Myself, and a expanded conscious awareness truth, we all are consciously and unconsciously on a spiritual journey of evolution, because this is what existence is. Truly. Everything we experience, everything we are, contributes towards the evolution of all things, or energy. And our paradigms of synaptical understandings is energy. All things are energy. We know this through our sciences. My soul, ancestral forces is like, hey, actually, there are infinite dimensions beyond the paradigm of energy. Which brings me to the Kingdom Things podcast, Call to Action. Sit with yourself for at least 2 hours a day, every day. Ask yourself, hey soul, hey self, what is it that I need to know to come into greater conscious awareness of my limitless potentials, conscious embodiment of the wellness and balance of my limitless potentials in which I am? Where for the answers, because they will come. I channel within Kingdom Things podcast, Frequential Patterning Part 1, as well as Kingdom Things podcast, Frequential Patterning Part 2. There are an infinite number of ways to perceive energy. And there are an infinite number of energies in reality to perceive. I say this to say, however your lingo with the universe is, the oneness of all things, or yourself is, even if it doesn't mirror a traditional psychic ability or mediumship ability, if it's more like synesthesia, where it's something you can't really explain, it's just your thing. Validate yourself in your knowings. Love on yourself in your knowings unconditionally to allow yourself to grow and evolve into more conscious awareness of your limitless potentials, more conscious embodiment of your limitless potentials with ease, grace, joy, fun, abundance, wellness, balance, as universally aligned, universally assigned for the upliftment and regeneration of all things. So there's Elizabeth April, there's Billy Carson, there's many other channelers that do the same thing that I do, just in a different dimension, or different perspectives, perceptions. And this is an illusion as well, but different dimensions, different perspectives, perceptions. Because brass tacks, we're all dimensions of the same creation. We're all pigments on the same canvas of art called creation. We're all mirrors of one another to assist with growing and evolving one another to more wellness, balance, conscious awareness, limitless potentials. Which brings me to the human dharmic purpose. I channel it from my soul space. It is biblical. We are created to be the remembrance that we are limitless potentials, having a human experience in order to grow and evolve all things. The divine wants to see, what do we create with coming into conscious awareness, conscious remembrance of our limitless potentials within the dream or within our experience. Which now brings me to the Kingdom Things podcast, 2033 Prophecy. It's a collective, unconscious, conscious decision, a universal decision. We've decided in the masses, we are human culture, planet Earth, with no death, no disease, no war, no ephemeral world peace, no poverty, no pedophilia, no sex trafficking, no human trafficking. By 2033, we will have the conscious awareness of this through the mass spiritual awakening, bouts of satori, or spontaneous remembrance of our divine limitless potentials, which we're having from the inside. Through the balancing of our energy, which is synonymous with our mass spiritual awakening, which is synonymous with our DNA genome activation, which is synonymous with the expansion of our conscious awareness of the self, or all things. co-creating, manifesting, projecting a human culture, planet Earth with no death, no disease, no war, no famine, no peace, no poverty, no pedophilia, no sex trafficking, no human trafficking. The divine says everything we experience is to evolve us into more. I channeled this within my song. I channeled the wisdom. Whenever creation needs something to continue to grow and evolve, it naturally produces it. I'm also a singer-songwriter. My music, as Nicole music, is available to stream on YouTube. Link below. Selenite ones. I channeled in the wisdoms. Everything we experience is to evolve us into more. Up-level our divine manuscripts. I'm talking new lines, dialogue, so riveting. Ooh. My soul space, the oneness of all things, says whenever creation needs something to, the universes say whenever creation needs something to continue to grow and evolve, it naturally produces it. Everything we experience is a part of the makings of us. Our mastery, our evolution, coming into greater awareness of wisdoms, greater ability to wield our wisdoms with conscious responsibility of the fact that our existence creates creations, creates realms, planets, beings, co-creates realms, planets, beings, other dimensions, other universes. The pedophilia, sex trafficking, human trafficking, poverty, famine, war, disease, death is all a part of the makings of us to prepare us to be the divine, biblically prophesied divine human. So we've decided no death, no disease, no war, no famine, no peace, no poverty, no pedophilia, no sex trafficking, no human trafficking. The divine wants to see what else do we create. We know interplanetary colonization. What else do we create? Remembering that we are one with multidimensional beings. 0 degrees of separation. The galactic creation is an omnipotent energy manifested as evolution or many dimensions. The beginning of space and time, I channel for my soul space, is biblical. It's prophecy told in many cultures, many theological studies, teachings. Beginning of space and time, 6 spheres of creation came together. Chaos ensued. That's when space and time, galactic creation ensued. Why? Whenever creation needs something to continue to grow and evolve, it naturally produces it. Chaos ensued. Galactic creation, space and time ensued to assist with balancing out the chaos of these 6 spheres of omnipotent potentials coming together to create more wellness, more balance, more potentials, more limitless potentials. Galactic creation, space and time ensued. We're one energy, humanity. Our experience as unawakened beings of the cosmos, unactivated beings of the cosmos, DNA dormant beings of the cosmos. It's all a part of the makings of us, part of our evolution. I lost track of where I was going with this. So I said the number 6. I said a number. I said any number. I said a number. And I just switched into a different dimension. Give me 1 second, y'all. Let me take a beat. Regather my train of flow, thought, existence. We're one with all things. We're one with all humanity. We're one with all galactic creation. And we fell asleep. We evolved into dormancy. It was a part of the makings of us. humanity, galactic beings evolved into dormancy. I channeled in an installment titled I Am the Biblically Prophesied Messiah that much of God's creation was dormant. I'm gonna link this below in the Kingdom Things podcast reference content. Much of God's creation was dormant. The title of the installment is I Am the Biblically Prophesied Messiah. You can call me Ashley. This is fine. Yeah. And it's still fine. Biblically. And we all truly are. We are our messiahs. Or we exist to activate into greater conscious awareness of our limitless potentials. Unbounded, unfettered. With mastery and wellness and balance. Yes. The remembrance that we are one with all things, to follow our heart spaces, to contribute our mastery, our limitless potentials for growth and evolution of all things. Or to be who and what we need to be in any moment to contribute to the evolution of the universe's divine creation, limitless potentials, and beyond. So I'm the Biblically Prophesied Messiah. Call me Ashley. This is fine. I channeled in the installment. It was given to me divine revelation alert that much of God's creation was dormant. Is dormant, was dormant. We're rising out of dormancy. We're generating all the things. So not just the galactic creation. And I channeled that in the installment, I'll link it below. Humans ashamed of being human. I channeled that divine wisdoms from the soul space, the Akashic record, my inner space, the oneness of all things. I channeled with the Kingdom Things podcast installment titled "Humans Ashamed of Being Human," plus the galactic experiment. The galactic creation that we're a part of is symbiotic and simultaneously a minute aspect of all of divine creation. So the way we experience or perceive ourselves is only a minute aspect of our limitless potentials, of reality's creation's limitless potentials, and we know this through our science. Only being able to see a minute spectrum of the light spectrum. And then get this, y'all, we can only perceive a minute aspect of the light spectrum. And guess what? The light spectrum is only a minute aspect of limitless potentials. It's a paradigm. Light spectrum is a paradigm. Say that to say we're limitless. The way we grow and evolve as humanity contributes to the growth and evolution of all of limitless potentials and beyond. It shape shifts all of limitless potentials and beyond, So I'll link that below. Humans ashamed of being human, plus galactic creation. So we fell asleep into dormancy, and we're waking up. We are awoke. We are awakened. And there's a lot of things we have to do, including allowing ourselves to supersede, evolve out of, accept it, to evolve it into more wellness and a more well and balanced way of being. Survival consciousness, predator-prey consciousness. These are two big ones. There's many paradigms we need to accept to garner the wisdoms from them, to grow them and evolve them into conscious galactic being paradigms or waves of being. The whole podcast is riddled with these wisdoms. We have the audio styles. I'm living my life, and I'll get divine revelations as I heal my inner space, and I'll amalgamate, stitch the divine revelations together. Channel nonetheless, and then we have Kingdom Things podcast meetups where I transcendentally channel ancestral forces, which I'm going to transcendentally channel some ancestral forces. They're speaking through me now. I'm going to transcendentally channel some ancestral forces here as well in the convening So we also have the meetups, transcendental channel, amalgamated style audios, channel nonetheless. And we have a lot of different content here within the podcast. Again, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, like, share, to help proliferate the Kingdom Things podcast with Nicole Phillips, Journey to a Healed and Balanced Human Culture of Planet Earth. Follow if you're watching on Spotify, comment, share, all those good things. To help Kingdom Things podcast and the algorithm. Humans ashamed of being human galactic creation. Link below in the description of this Kingdom Things podcast installment. So this installment, I'm super excited. Again, it's the Convening. It's a different type of Kingdom Things podcast installment situation. It's called the Convening. The Shift Part 1. We're going to be super transparent. This installment is going to be an igniting force. This transmission is going to be an igniting force in the big shift, leading up to like a radically noticeable uptick in the human consciousness. I mean, we've been doing this like since our existence, but it's going to be we have the enlightenment of like the 1800s. We have that the mass spiritual awakening, the mass enlightenment of the 1800s. Like we've had these things before. This is different in the way that the prophecy, we're not going back to sleep in a way that the only sleep we're going to go back to when it comes to our consciousness is understanding that there are new levels of conscious awareness. We're not going back to sleep in the way that, baby, we're being birthed into the cosmos as a galactic colony. Mass remembrance that we are one with all things, one with multidimensional beings. Remembrance that, and we're gonna roll into this animated series. After this transmission, I do work in my inner space to help heal our ancestral heritage, humanity. When I say our, I mean humanity's ancestral heritage, which is tandem with all of galactic creation. We're created to be remembrance of limitless potentials. So our humanity and truly all beings were one within in each other. I have literature, and from my literature came my animated series. Within my animated series, I channel divine wisdoms, divine remembrance from my soul space. Hey Ashley, spirit souls, like, hey Ashley, let's heal today. Let's channel those healings, wisdoms. The healing we did last week, let's channel that into the animated series. I did an animated series titled The Reconciliation of Our Reptilian Heritage. Something along these lines. We're going to roll into that in this installment of Asia's animated series. Asia's animated series is available to stream AP Short Stories on YouTube. It's linked below for free at this time. We're going to roll into this installment of Asia's animated series after we do this convening. It's not, I've been able to glean because I'm a little hesitant, right? And before I would call it running for myself. But I've been able to, since I've been healing so much, I'm scratching my head, and I know dimensions of me are like, Ashley, stop doing that, you on camera. And that's exactly what I'm about to roll into, about to speak about right in this moment. Before I would call it running for myself. Whenever I felt like a big energetic shift coming, and I would just kind of procrastinate. Now I can perceive it. Before it was super unconscious. But baby, now I can perceive it. And parts of it is still super unconscious, but I perceive it more. And that's just the ways of nature, part of creation. We are where we're supposed to be, when we're supposed to be, to assist with the growth and evolution of ourselves in all things. We identified as energies of fragmentation. So energies and otherwise that were of fragmentation. I'm reading my notes, y'all. We identified them as these fragmentations. So we are identified as these paradigms and thought patterns that we have that co-create our actions and reality, our choices. Instead of remembering from our inner spaces that we are whole and one with all things, the oneness of all things. Principle of correspondence, as below, so above. Everything in my reality is a mirror of the energies in which I am. Is a mirror of the energies in which I am. Instead of this divine remembrance, we evolved into dormancy, DNA dormancy. Whenever you perceive yourself as separate from anything or anyone, it's a state of lack, survival consciousness. And a survival consciousness where you're trying to protect your lack or your fragmentation or your belief in finite or limitation. Heightened wisdoms, divine wisdoms in which we all truly are. Everything is what it is our perspective, perception of it. What is that changes? My inner space whispered this to me. Actually, everything, a few years ago, everything is what it is your perspective, perception of what is and which changes. This is all a part of evolution and growth. We evolved into dormancy. And I talk about this in the Kingdom Things podcast installment. Again, it's linked in the description of this video. I am the biblically prophesied Messiah. Call me Ashley. We evolved into fragmentation or DNA dormancy when we identified as our lack or our things. Galactic creation is in part tandem, in part tangible realities with resources and other things. The perception, perspective of form, dimensionality, or finite. We evolved in a way that, in a greater wisdom, heightened wisdom, perspective, understanding, is our bubble of galactic creation, which is also, becoming more our bubble, meaning our ascension cycle of galactic creation, is becoming more harmonized with other ascension cycles of galactic creation that are in more wellness and more balance and remembrance and embodiment of the wholeness with all things in which we are. Our ascension cycle of galactic creation has been a warring community, warring society, galactic wars, imprisonment, death, disease, all the things. And we started this way because galactic creation ensued to balance the energies of chaos. So we were animatronic beings or DNA dormant beings as our evolution even became fragmented, to where when higher wisdom divine beings, extraterrestrials, interdimensional beings, when they grew and evolved and heightened conscious spiritual awareness, they would supersede galactic creation. And there would still be infinite colonies, dimensions, beings within galactic creation that were DNA dormant, didn't remember, have conscious awareness or DNA activation to align with the frequencies, aligned with DNA activation, aligned with the frequencies that we are part of a greater creation beyond what we can perceive in any moment. A creation of actually beyond limitless potentials. This is how fragmented we became as a galactic creation. And it mirrored in our human society, in our human ascension cycle, humanity. Principle of correspondence, as below, so above. We became energetically and otherwise fragmented as we identified as fragmentation instead of the wholeness. We identified as our preferences. We identified as the thought patterns that we like. Instead of deep diving and understanding every thought, everything we think, everything we feel is a dimension of the self. Allowing ourselves to be a void or to be heart-centered, to garner the wisdoms of what we think and feel, to uplift the energies of what we think and feel, or our wholeness, our oneness. And our thoughts and our feelings are collective thoughts and feelings. They're not our own thoughts and feelings. They're a collective of thoughts and feelings. And what makes us our own or individuals is our preference of the thoughts and feelings in which we like to identify as ourselves. And instead of making that our wholeness, our preferences of the thoughts and energies in which we like to think of as ourselves, instead of making this our identity, the fragmentation or what we pick and choose to identify with, understanding we're all things, to supersede depravity, death, disease, war, famine, poverty, pedophilia, sex trafficking, human trafficking. It's already done. It's already done. But remembering how to be responsible galactic beings, remembering that we are divine presence, remembering that we are responsible galactic beings, responsible in a way that we remember that we are community. Remembering into our sentience, leaning into our sentience, our feelings, to identify as family, regardless of your species, race, dimensionality, preferences, galactic creation, community called galactic creation, dimensions of divine creation and beyond. We are so one, y'all. I channeled within the Kingdom Things podcast installment. It is a meetup, 12-strand DNA, multidimensional panel. I channeled Tiamat, Anu, and Lil Enki. These are Anunnaki of Nibiru / Nibiru plus Anunnaki of Sumer, Mesopotamia. I channel Enlil, Enki, Anu, Tiamat, as well as the Pleiadians in this transmission, 12-strand DNA. It is linked below in the description of this video. We are so whole. I'm awakening like everybody else. Every human, every dimension of creation, we're awakening to greater conscious awareness of ourselves. Greater conscious awareness of the role we came into existence to play. Greater conscious awareness of our tandem nature with all things, greater conscious sentient potentials, and being able to communicate with our sentience in a way that we garner the wisdoms. We garner the wisdoms from what we feel, or the energies we embody. We garner the sentiments from the sentience. 12-strand DNA activation. I channel Tiamat, Anu, Enlil, Enki, Pleiadians, extraterrestrial interdimensional star beings from the Pleiades, as well as different dimensions of our home realm, our home planet called planet Earth, multidimensional beings, Pleiadians. And I thought I messed up. Because I was told before the transmission, hey, Ashley, my pre-production for transmission, it varies, but I don't do much pre-production. I heal all the time. All day, I'm always healing in my inner space to garner wisdoms, divine remembrance, conscious awareness, greater conscious awareness, conscious expansion, to evolve my human, which is synonymous with all humans, into more wellness and balance, conscious awareness of our limitless potentials. So my pre-production, it varies. But I don't do much pre-production. I was told that before 12-strand DNA, again, it's linked below in the description of this Kingdom Things podcast transmission. I was told, hey, Ashley, you're upping your spiritual practice, your spiritual awareness. I was like, okay. I was nervous before that because I could feel the looming energetic shift or evolution of myself, evolution of all things. Because once you evolve, all things evolve. Once I evolve, all things evolve. When your neighbor evolves, all things evolve. So I felt the looming energies of evolution of shift, right? And I was nervous. The soul space, my heart space, like, hey, Ashley, we're upping your spiritual practice, your spiritual awareness. I said, okay, cool. I was still nervous, right? I was nervous. I channeled Enki and Alil. And their energy started oscillating in my inner space. I was like, what's going on? I was like, and then I heard clairaudiently, she's doing it. And their energy was just oscillating in my inner space. I was like, and they're like, and I thought I messed up. You'll see it on transmission. I feel like asterisk, put Enki or Enlil's name. I thought they were oscillating. They're like, I'm Enki, I'm Enlil. They were like having a conversation through my inner space, and like they were speaking. They're speaking to humanity in the transmission through the Kingdom Things podcast transmission through my inner space, and their energy, their conscious awareness, their conscious awareness was just oscillating. I was like, it was so powerful. I didn't even end the transmission properly. I had to pause, took a break, because I thought I was gonna end the transmission properly by saying my outro and all the things. I cried. I just broke into like a healing, therapeutic cry. And baby closed, baby didn't even go back, put on my pajamas, baby laid it down. That's how powerful the energetic shift is from this transmission. And I thought I messed up. They said, no, Ashley, you did exactly what we needed you to do. Like, thank you. Like, you did exactly, you did it well. Like, no, you didn't mess up. I was like, and I still didn't understand. My conscious mind didn't understand. I was like, they just trying to be nice. I was like, Enki, Lil, Anunnaki, baby spirit. They're just trying to be nice. They're trying to be delicate with me. I don't feel like I did a good job. I was beating myself up. And then like a couple weeks later, like I was able to integrate the energies from the transmission that I channeled. I was able to integrate them into my DNA, to my biology, to my conscious awareness. Like let my energies balance out all the things, ground all the things, right? And I got communication from Enki and Lil. It was an extrasensory perception experience. Extrasensory perspective experience. To where I could perceive, like, it was like I was Enki. Whatever he was doing, he was working on something. He was outside working on something, like in a shed or something, picking up something, working on something. And then the conscious awareness like zoomed into another body. And then I was in Lil. And then Enki and Lil was like, we did this all the time. Much like the movie Freaky Friday with Lindsay Lohan. I don't know why I do this. Jamie Lynn, the actress. I don't know why I do this. Jamie, is it just Jamie? I know her. She's an elder, so I don't want to be all disrespectful and not say her last name, because I don't remember her last name. I do this all the time. I grew up with her too. Her energy from Halloween back in the day. I watched Halloween when I was a young kid. I grew up with her. She feels like, baby, she feels like family. She feels like kin. And I can't remember her last name. I'm going to put an asterisk right here. The movie with Freaky Friday. Enki and Lil was like, it's just like this. We switched our consciousness through our vessels to do whatever we needed to do spiritually. You know, whatever our objective goal was, we switched our consciousness often, sometimes often, to proceed with whatever we needed to do. And what's the difference between Enki and Alil's consciousness? What's the difference between Lindsay Lohan's and Miss Jamie's consciousness in the movie? Who they identify as, or their preferences, or the fragmentation, or their preferences. It's understanding that we are the wholeness, accepting ourselves or our preferences to grow and evolve into more conscious awareness, conscious embodiment of our wholeness, or heightened spiritual awareness, heightened consciousness, perception, heightened, greater activated DNA, genome, greater efficiency, the way we show up in our existence, meaning greater balance. I was gonna say greater efficiency of our DNA, greater DNA activation. Excuse me. Enki and Lil were like, we did this all the time. And they let me perceive it, the extrasensory perception experience. They let me see it. They let me perceive it. I was like, whoa. And they're like, Ashley, this is what we're trying to show you in the transmission. I was like, shoot. I was like, okay, I didn't mess up. I was like, okay, because that experience evolved me into perceiving a greater perspective of how we are one with all things, and how magical we are, and how Enki and Lil traded consciousness and vessels, all the things, in order to create, evolve, grow, achieve their initiatives, their intentions. So let's take a beat. Let's let that breathe. Let's let this breathe. So I've been on my conscious, rapid evolutionary journey. I'm going to link below God is a Woman. The divine was like, hey, Ashley, I need you to become everything I created you to be. And I need you to do it fast. Because I need humanity to become everything humanity was created to be. Rather quickly. 2033 prophecy. I need humanity to awaken to the fact that y'all are limitless potentials, and y'all have only been having an experience of limitation. You're not the limitation growing into limitless nature. You're the limitless nature that had experiences as limitation to assist with growing and evolving all things. The paradigms of limitation, as well, synonymous with limitless nature, truly, because everything is one. I'm going to link below God is a Woman. God is a Woman, where I channel this. I channel about my rapid spiritual awakening. It's something that we're all experiencing, humanity, galactic beings, divine creation, in our own way, to assist with the growth and evolution of all things. So I'm rapidly evolving over the last few years. Since 2018, my soul says, when I agreed to go into I have a divine counterpart, twin flame. I know who my person was since I was 9 years old. It's my story. I'm going to tell it. I know who my person was since I was 9 years old. It was a divine revelation that was given to me by my inner space, because my person was a child actor, child star on a TV show. Me and my sister used to watch. Me and my older sister used to watch. And I was watching one night, and my inner space said, that's going to be your husband. And I just incanted that's going to be my husband. So I knew who my person was since I was 9 years old. I had the remembrance that our conscious awareness of myself and my limitless potentials, my spiritual divine nature, that I needed to have. At any moment, we have infinite dimensions of ourselves that are conscious aware. Whatever is in our conscious mind at any moment is what we need to have for the makings of us, the evolution of us. 2018, my soul's like, hey, Ashley, fast forward. 2018, I'm 24. My soul's like, hey, Ashley, go celibate. 24, 25. My soul's like, hey, Ashley, go celebrate. We're going to bring your person in. Baby, I don't want to get into numbers. I'm going to lose track. I don't want to get into numbers too much. I don't want to lose track. 24, 25. My soul was like, hey, Ashley, go celebrate. We're going to bring your person in. Cold turkey. That's when my soul says, hey, that's when we, you heard us so clearly. First off. Baby, you heard that, baby. I heard, baby. It's like I was sitting at the coffee table, at the kitchen table, with my gosh darn ancestral forces. Is how clearly I heard. Flashed my person, a picture of my person in my mind's eye, and said, hey, go celebrate. We're going to bring this person in. I said, done. All right. I heard it clear as day for one. And two, baby, cold turkey. And there was karmic loops coming back around, trying to pull me back into the streets. I was like, no, thank you. I have a home. Trying to pull me back into the streets. I said, no, thank you. And it's a joke. The karmic streets. Pull me back into cycles. It was a joke. Pull me back into cycles that I transcended. All right. Pull me back into cycles that I no longer need for the growth and evolution of me. Baby, them cycles trying to come back around, pull me outside. I said, no, thank you, right? So, the divine doesn't lie. 2019, was guided to message my person on, DM my person on Instagram. I did. I was like, I was scared. Baby, divine presence animated my vessel. Baby, density and all. DNA dormancy and all. Baby, divine presence said, get up, go message on Instagram. I messaged him on Instagram. I said, I think we were made for each other, period. Sent. I don't think he's gonna see it. My soul said, hey, so don't even think that thought. We're gonna make sure he sees it. I said, okay. And sure enough, fast forward, we've experienced a lot together. We haven't met in a tangible reality yet, and we've still experienced so much. And I'll talk about it all through the podcast. Why did y'all experience so much together? Because of how we identified ourselves. The fragmentation that I identify myself as. And the fragmentation that he identified himself as. 2019, when we came together, it allowed us to come together. It allowed spirit to connect our energies in a way that he was able to suss the energy of the message, be guided by spirit to get the message, for us to come into conscious awareness of each other. We identified as the matrix. Baal's energy, Baal's matrix. I'm not going to speak too much about who Baal is. He said he'll speak about himself. But I'm going to link it below. Kingdom Things Podcast, Redemption Part 1. I channeled a sermon with Rabbi Yeshua or Jesus Christ, where we speak about Baal, or the local god. It's a Hebrew deity that would take care of local needs, but wasn't aligned with universal orchestration. So what would happen? We would become fragmented and identify with our locality, or who we thought we were, our realm, our things, and missing the bigger picture of the bigger totality of how we're connected to all universal forces, following our universal guidance to grow and evolve into greater universal presence, or divine presence, or God Goddess presence, or God Goddess consciousness. We're going to channel Baal today. Yes, this transmission, we're channeling Baal in a few moments. So I identified, and he identified, as Baal energies, or the matrix energies. So remembering that the Baal matrix, the Baal energies, it's an analogy. It's a matrix where we felt like we were less than God, less than wholeness, less than divinity. We had a dormant DNA. Where we had war, disease, poverty, famine, all the things that we didn't want to experience. And all the things we didn't want to experience, we would perpetuate and create, because we would identify as fragmentation. Instead of remembering that we identify as fragmentation or preferences, instead of remembering that with a limitless nature, we get to choose and align with preferences, but understanding that we're still the wholeness, the oneness that is all things. So we were both identifying as Bayal energies, or local energies, or fragmentation, or separation consciousness when we came together. And then I was catalyzed onto my mass spiritual awakening. COVID hit, got to quit my job. So I didn't, baby, phase out of the matrix, or get in a horrible, my soul's like, you were gonna get in a horrible car crash, going to work and perish and die, transcend. So we had you quit the job. I got the intuitive guidance to quit my job during COVID, and I lost my apartment, lost my car, got in a car wreck. Had to move back. I moved back in with my mom. I'm so grateful for this now. At the time, was I grateful? No. My soul was like, hey, Ashley, baby, snatched up out my city, moved out of the city that I was born and raised in. So many changes in this small, like 2 years time period. Moved from Austin to the Houston area. And then my soul was like, hey, Ashley, if you want to be with your person, this person is sitting in your heart space, you have to become everything I created you to be. Baby, God in the spirit, inner space, follow my heart space. Channel so many ancestral forces, including King David. His energy is present. He's saying hello through his energy. He wants to speak. I am speaking, actually, as we are one. The revolution will be televised. And this is all he wants to say. Thank you. Thank you, King David. Uncle King David. Thank you, Uncle King David. Spirit was like, we didn't know if you were going to allow that. Because of our paradigms of understanding of the self, we call anything outside of what we consider normalcy or imbalance. Because what we considered normal created death, disease, created a society of death, disease, war, famine, poverty, sex trafficking, pedophilia, human trafficking. And I channeled within the Kingdom Things podcast. It's the second part to Ways of Creation, part 1. It has Anunnaki in the title. I'm going to link it below. I'm gonna link below, and I'll specify, hey, this is the installment. I don't remember the whole installment name. This is an installment where I was talking about the second part of Ways of Creation with Anunnaki in the title. This is the installment. I channeled that do not replace your professional medical advice with anything you experience or hear within Kingdom Things podcast. I channeled schizophrenia, bipolar, autism. They're really extrasensory perception, extrasensory perception, or multidimensionality, misconstrued, confused with impediment. And our normalcy is actually karmic dysfunction, energies of karmic imbalance, energetic imbalance that creates death, destitution, disease, the reality we live in. And we had a programming in our matrix, in our energy, that was shame, repel, our extrasensory perception, our multidimensionality, our greater conscious awareness and embodiment, so that we weren't typecasted as delusional, as psychotic, as insane. So Spirit's like, we didn't know if you're gonna allow that to come in. I literally felt Uncle King David's breath, meaning the energy got warm. And I just heard, I don't remember what I said, but I just heard it. And he was like, Uncle, I said, King David. I touched my heart because I found my heart was like, King David. He's like, I'm here and I want to speak. I was like, King David wants to speak. He said, I am speaking, Ashley, because we are one. The revolution is televised, will be televised. Spirit's like, we didn't know if you were going to let that come through. I did. And I am, you know. Because I want to be remembered. And it's my divine purpose to assist with humanity being remembered. Irregardless of how I'm perceived, I know who I am. I know my experience. I know how magical that just was. This whole thing, this existence, this podcast, me sharing my spiritual awakening, my spiritual awareness, my spiritual gifts, my spiritual wisdoms within the podcast, which is really one with you. Whatever resonates with your heart space, you're more than welcome to align with the energies and messages along your own journey of evolution. Whatever doesn't, you can leave it. My twin flame align with energies of fragmentation. Identify with fragmentation. As I identify with fragmentation, came here to Katie, got to Katie. My soul's like, hey, Ashley, if you want to be with this person, I know y'all went through a lot, but I know he's still heavy in your heart space, and it's for a reason. It's for a reason. We call the twin flame journey, or divine missionaries for the oneness of all things, for the Most High, to create radical changes and shifts in different realms, planets of divine creation. That's why you feel him so strongly in your heart space. Divine was like, hey, Ashley, if you want to be with this person, you have to become everything I created you to be. Baby, God is a woman. I channeled how I was catalyzed onto my rapid spiritual awakening to expand my consciousness rapidly. And to integrate my conscious awareness into my genome, my DNA, or humanity, galactic creation and beyond. And as I'm doing this, my inner guidance, as I'm allowing for the melding of my polarities, of the harmonizing of my polarities through my monad, my vessel, my existence, my oneness, as I'm allowing for the melding of my left, right, my yin, yang, my dark, light, instead of being polarized or just identifying as a preferences to where I don't get to convene with the other dimensions of myself. I'm allowing my polarities to harmonize. And as I do this, my inner guidance has changed and shifted to where, and it's been a process in which my soul, wisdoms, divine presence, my ancestral forces, and which truly one. But ancestral forces, I call them my power sessions, where I convene in my inner space. I use my extrasensory perception, my shamanism capabilities to convene with multidimensional beings, multidimensional energies, multi-universal energies to assist with guiding me through my growth and evolution. And I was told, we called it the trickster spirit. I was told yesterday, hey, I need you to identify this. So I went over, had class yesterday through my inner space. I called it the power session. My soul was, hey, I need you to identify these different energies for me. I was like, okay. And my soul was like, yeah, that's what y'all call the trickster spirit. Where it tries to get you to do what it wants you to do with as a mean, I'm being guided to say as a means to an end. Meaning, these energies are not regenerative energies. These energies are not universal forces. These energies want validation. These energies want gratification, instant gratification. They're not looking to paint. They weren't looking to paint on the canvas of infinite existence. They weren't worried about infinite existence. They're just trying to feel good in the moment. Energies that we identified as self, energies that are one with our ancestral forces, energies that are one with the Baal matrix. Baal matrix being an analogy for the matrix or creation or energies of our reality, of ourselves, of our reality. Principle of correspondence as below, so above, of ourselves, of our realities, when we identified as fragmentation or our preferences instead of the wholeness of all things. So I'm allowing my spheres, my polarities to harmonize through my existence and my beingness to assist with uplifting all of humanity, all of galactic creation, all of divine creation, which is all of our jobs. because we're all limitless potentials that are here to share the mastery of the evolution of our authentic frequencies or our infinite soul's journeys, to contribute to the creation that is a human being of planet Earth, to contribute to the evolution and uplifting of all galactic creation, to contribute to the upliftment, regeneration of not only galactic creation, but all of divine creation, limitless, infinite potentials. So I'm letting my left, right, yin, yang, dark, light harmonize in my inner space. Yesterday, my soul was like, hey, this is the trickster spirit. I need you to learn it. We used to call it the trickster spirit. Our ancestral forces, our preference energies that we identified as self, that baby means to an end energies. We're not looking to regenerate. We believe in death. These energies believed in death, that there's an energy finite. They weren't aligned with the remembrance of universal forces of regeneration and limitless potentials. I've been convening with my inner safe space and really demonizing my humanity, or the trickster spirit, or the Baal energy. Baal, again, Baal energy, Baal matrix energies. Again, Baal being an analogy of energies of separation, or where we chose to identify as our fragmentation or our preferences, instead of the remembrance, the wisdoms that we are the oneness of all things, the limitless potential wholeness of all things. I was demonizing my humanism over the last couple years. And my soul's like, these baby, it helped me climb real quick in the spirit. My higher chakras activated, helped me expand my consciousness extremely rapidly. And then energies and spirits are like, it's common. My soul's like, hey, it's common for, when you get into heightened spiritual awareness, to demonize your humanism. But my soul is like, hey, that's not what we came here to do. That's not what we came here to do. We came to uplift humanity. All things. Remember that you're one with all things. Let your yin yang, left, right, dark, light harmonize. I started demonizing my humanism, which helped me lift up real quick in the spirit, activate real quick in the spirit. It's all cataloged throughout Kingdom Things podcast with Nicole Phillips, as well as Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment, which is available to stream on YouTube for free. That's the Power Session channel. When we convene in the inner space with the ancestral forces, we do that here too. We do it more at a relaxed pace within Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment. It's linked below. Free to stream on YouTube. And this transmission, the convening, this content for Kingdom Things podcast, it's a lot like Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment. The soul, Rabbi Yeshua was like, hey, Ashley, we want you to be relaxed. Rabbi Yeshua or Jesus Christ was like, hey, Ashley, we want you to be relaxed in this transmission. So baby, just chill, right? Just let it flow, let it go. Don't be too uptight and trying to put on a show. We know you like showmanship to make jokes, all the things, but just relax. I said, okay. So the convening is more like Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment. Again, free to stream on YouTube. I started lifting up real quickly in the spirit, demonizing my humanism, or the Baal matrix energies. Baal matrix energies are an analogy. The matrix mirroring our creation, where we identified as fragmentation or our preferences, instead of remembering, or separation, instead of remembering that we're the spectrum of wholeness, or all things in our reality as a mirror to ourselves, to grow and evolve us into more conscious awareness, conscious embodiment of our divine presence, God consciousness, Goddess consciousness, DNA activation, genome activation, heightened awareness, spiritually awareness, which is spirit. When we're heightened spiritual awareness, our sciences catch up to our heightened perspective of the self, or our technology and our sciences advance as our spiritual awareness advances as a collective. Which brings me to the Kingdom Things podcast, Kardashian scale prophecy. The divine says we need a type 1, type 2, type 3 human being of planet Earth community at a type 1, type 2, type 3 Kardashian scale colony. If you don't know what Kardashian scale is, it was channeled by the astronomer Kardashian. My soul said we gifted that to humanity. He channeled it. We wanted y'all to understand that you were created to grow and evolve into more limitless potentials. The Kardashian scale, outlines Kardashev scale. The Kardashev scale outlines. I've been saying Kardashev this whole time. It's part of my extrasensory perception, because we perceive reality the way we perceive it, right? He was like, can you pronounce it? And I asked him before too. I was like, hey, he was like, it's fine actually. And now I'm getting like, hey, can you pronounce it as Kardashev? Is it Russian? Kardashev? Yes, I can. The Kardashev scale outlines the evolution of galactic colonies based off of the amount of its own energy in which the galactic colony is able to harness and utilize towards the galactic colony's evolution. The divine says we need a type 1, type 2, type 3 Kardashev scale colony community of planet Earth within 0 to 50 years, 0 to 20 years, 0 to 5 years, whenever we choose it, is when it shall be. It already exists. We just have to align our frequencies. Uplift our frequency, align it to the type 1, type 2, type 3 human being culture of planet Earth. We are multidimensional beings. We know existence is multidimensional energies. We exist within a multidimensional realm where there already are heightened, baby. We would see like astronomical, spiritual, emotional, mental, physical evolution beings. Like, whoa, shoot, that exists, yes. And the spirit was like, I'll link it below. I did the transmission. I actually came into conscious awareness of the Kardashev scale because I was healing in my inner space using my shaman bama capabilities. My shaman capabilities, I was actually healing with the 18th dimensional. Were they a 10th dimensional? I think they were 10th dimensional. It was a 10th dimensional star being race. Galactic being race, star being race. They are a bipedal species, and they're humans. HUE, man. They're humans. Like, they don't look like us. They're bipedal and they're humans, right? Spectrum of humans becoming many variations. I'm gonna link the installment below. Kardashev scale, Kardashev prophecy. It was first 1,000 years, and that we started healing as a collective. And the spirit said, whenever it comes around the corner, it's gonna come. It's gonna be. I came into conscious awareness of the Kardashev. Kardashev. What is it called? Kardashev. I came into the conscious awareness of the Kardashev. Now I'm losing my wording. Like, I came into conscious awareness of the Kardashev scale. Now I'm saying Kardashev scale. I was extrasensory telepathically communicating with a 10th dimensional star race being. And we were healing in our inner space. We were like sharing stories and stuff. We were chatting. It was really beautiful. I could tell I was learning from their energy, healing from their energy, and I could tell it was symbiotic. They were as well, learning about themselves and growing as well. It was a symbiotic communication. And they're like, hey, Ashley, do you know about the Kardashev scale? I was like, no. They're like, can you go look it up for me? And I went on YouTube and I looked it up. And they're like, be loose. Like, as far as your synaptical understandings, be loose about what you're going to find. And we each Kardashev level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This scale was gifted to y'all for y'all to understand that y'all are benevolently dispositioned or created to grow and evolve into more wellness, more balance, more limitless potentials. I was like, cool. And I channeled within the Kardashev scale prophecy. Kingdom Things podcast installment, Pajamas and Prophecy. It is linked below within the description of this Kingdom Things podcast. The Convening, the Shift Part 1 transmission. I'm allowing my polarities, yin yang, left, right, to come together. And I raised in the spirit really quickly, right? To where the energies that my twin flame identified as didn't shift so quickly as mine did. The energies that I identified, it shifted really rapidly, extremely rapidly. To where they became an extreme dissonance in our communication and all the things. Because who we identified as and who I now identify as, it was just, we no longer resonated. And now I'm like integrating my heightened awareness into my human, allowing my heightened awareness to integrate into my human, or what? The Baal energy matrix. Baal energy matrix is an analogy of the energies of our ancestry of galactic creation and beyond. Because what I channel is I am the biblically prophesied Messiah. My name is call me Ashley. In this transmission, I channel much of God's creation was dormant. Much of limitless potential was dormant to the remembrance that we're part of a bigger creation outside of what we can perceive at any moment, but we can sense at any moment. So I'm grounding my heightened awareness into my human to help ground the heart of all the human into conscious awareness, or the Baal energy matrix. Baal energy matrix, an analogy where we identified as paradigms or preferences or fragmentation instead of remember that we're the wholeness. I'm grounding my energy back into the Baal matrix, and I've been doing that. It's cataloged out throughout the matrix. I've been doing it, but now I'm more conscious awareness. I'm more consciously aware of it. The whole podcast, I've just been following my heart space. My soul's like, hey, Ashley, just follow your heart space. You'll get the full circle moments. When they come, they come. And that's what I'm doing now. I just follow my heart space and I get full circle moments all the time. Now I have a greater conscious awareness. So much so, like I was saying, my internal guidance, my spirit is like, hey, these trickster energies, y'all call them trickster energies. They're really a means to end energies. Baal matrix energies, Baal matrix energy, an analogy for fragmentation energies or preference energies that y'all identified as your ancestry, galactic heritage and beyond, y'all's human galactic heritage and beyond when y'all were dormant. And then remember that y'all are great, limitlessly, infinitely greater than what you can perceive and sense about yourself at any moment. So I'm grounding these energies in, expanding my conscious so greatly that I went outside of galactic creation a few times, all the time, and I'm bringing help, ancestral forces to help from, because when you incantate, you're gonna be delivered. You're gonna get what you ask for, only and always. I channeling my song Selenite Ones. All hands on deck. Make sure we become a standing nation. We got ancestral forces coming way beyond the galactic creation. Respect to every being and energy of the galaxies. All hands on deck. Make sure we become a standing nation. Evolve way past self-condemnation, the shame, the guilt, the resentment, the anger, the epitome of the slumber, of the forgetfulness. Everything we experience was to evolve us into more, up-level our divine manuscript. I'm talking new lines, dialogue, so riveting. Ooh. So I've expanded my consciousness wide, baby. I be going outside of space and time, outside of galactic creation to get ancestral forces to come intervene and help. I call them big boot ancestors, baby. And the big boot ancestors, 8, 10 universes ascended. Now we was at 8 universes before. We had 8, 9, 10 universes ascended. And they were like, we understand that y'all's numbers, the way y'all perceive things is only a paradigm, but we actually want you to say 8, 9, 10 universes ascended to understand that these energies are wisdoms well beyond your universes, your creations, understanding of creation or reality. To understand how y'all are being inundated with wisdoms of great grand potentials. So these big boot ancestors have been helping me help heal the human genome, galactic creation, all the things. It's all throughout the podcast, y'all. It's all throughout the podcast about galactic creation. And they were like, the really big thing, a huge thing was like, hey, galactic creation, instead of trying to change ourselves and each other, learn to accept yourselves and allow yourselves or your existence, your experience to evolve you into greater conscious awareness, conscious embodiment of your limitless potentials. Expanding my conscious greatly, grounding back in my human genome, galactic creation, all the things, the energies of the Baal energy matrix, an analogy for fragmentation, separation, energy, consciousness, human beings of planet Earth, ancestry, galactic ancestry, and beyond. The energies, we call them trickster spirits. And they're like, hey, Ashley, do this today. I'm like, I don't really want to. Like earlier, perfect example was because I follow my internal guidance, baby. I'm gonna follow my intuition, baby. I'm gonna follow my internal guidance. I'm gonna do it, baby. I follow my heart space all the time. And now that I'm integrating back into my human, like and I can perceive my perception, my being able to read the energies that move through me, baby. I'm having a conversation with you. It's not just like, oh, I just have a whim to go get a snack. I'm going to go get a snack in the kitchen on a whim because I kind of feel a little hungry. No, I hear your ancestral force like, hey, Ashley, go eat some pretzels. I'm like, I'm not really hungry right now. Oh, she hears me. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, you're aware. Shit, what are you? Baby, there's been internal, like, ancestral forces from, galactic in our realm. They're like, what is she? And then my consciousness will be like, hey, Ashley, don't worry about it. I have a heightened conscious awareness. Sometimes I try to explain my consciousness like, hey, Ashley, we'll take care of it. We'll speak to these dimensions. We'll tell these energies. We'll have a chit chat. Like, don't worry about it. Just drop it to your heart space. Ground back into your body. Ground it to the present moment. I'm like, okay. I'm like, oh, it feels like it's only always been like this, Ashley. I was like, whoa, wow. Perfect example earlier. I get up early in the morning. It's been my schedule to have some consistency and to get what I need done, and to stay grounded in my body, in my physical reality, in my present moment. I have a schedule. It's kind of it's monotonous, but it's necessary for the space of who I am. It helps me stay grounded in the present moment, as well as productive. In the way that the things that I need to get done on my schedule, I get them done, because it's pretty much the same lineup every day. I need this. I need it for the way that I operate. So earlier, I was sitting in the cafe at Kroger's. I had breakfast and did some other things at the table in there. And I got up early. I got up at like 3 o'clock in the morning. And I was convening my inner space. I do this all the time. I'm like, oh my God, I got up so early that morning. I do it all the time. We call it witching hours. I get up early. I convene in the spirit, my inner space, all the things. I got up early. I did laundry and stuff at 3 o'clock in the morning. But I didn't go back to sleep though. I got up and calm the tangles out of my hair. My soul was like, hey, Ashley, babe, calm your hair. Like, calm the tangles out. Because I've been throwing my hair in this bun. And just wrapping my head up. But, my soul's like, hey, Ashley, get the tangles out this morning. Take the extra time. Let's do that this morning. So I got up. I did some laundry, combed my hair out, put it back up in the bun. And I went to go have breakfast and stuff. And I was like, I need to go. I was like, I already knew. After I got done doing what I was doing, I was like, 10 o'clock, I'm coming back to the house. And baby, I'm gonna take a shower. I'm gonna take my puppy out. I'm gonna walk her, feed her, walk her, put her back in her house, or her cage, put her back in her house, or her cage. And then I'm gonna go take a shower and I'm gonna take a nap. Because I was like, I know I got this transmission later tonight. I need to be well rested. I was sitting at the table at Kroger's, about to go back to the house. I walked to Kroger's. I was about to walk back to the house and do exactly what I just said, because I already had it in my spirit, my mind, my conscious mind, and my spirit. That's what I was gonna go do, because I need to rest. And then I heard an internal voice, Ashley, let's go to the pool today. Like, go to the pool. You deserve it. Have fun. Go to the pool. I'm like, I almost fell into it. I was like, shoot, maybe Maybe instead of a nap, I'll get sun, and maybe the sun, or the sunbathe, the sun will have the same effect, give me rejuvenation, regeneration. I won't feel so tired. My soul's like, hey, I should go rest, go sleep. You close your eyes and sleep. And I was like, yeah. I don't want to go to the pool. I don't want to go to the pool. And those are what we call them trickster spirit or means to an end energies, or I just want to have fun. The girls just want to have fun. Oh, girls want to have fun. Oh, girls just want to have fun. But I needed to go rest because I got a transmission tonight. Right? I need a regeneration net. I got a transmission tonight. That was a perfect example, right? Are we going to get into it, Ashley? Miss Ashley? It's up to you, Miss Ashley. It's up to you, Miss Ashley. It's go ahead and get into it, sister. This is healthy. And we're going to go ahead and do this. And we're going to flow into channeling Thought Me, Bayal, and Rabbi Yeshua. So I've been healing. And I remember my divine counterpart's my divine counterpart. I just knew he was going to be my husband since I was 9. When we met, I fell into past life energies, remembrances, to where I was acting outside of my own preferences, outside of who I thought I was or knew me to be. Because I was, being guided by the winds of the energies of past lives, all the things that were activated into greater. They were activated when we came into conscious contact with each other in this 3D physical world, tangible realm. This man utilized our spiritual connection to before I would perceive it, like I was he used it to mess with me. He tried to kill me. He was just so horrible. He was abusive with our spiritual connection. He was only being himself. He was only operating out of his awareness of who he is, how he thought, the paradigms, who he believes himself to be, the paradigms of how he thought he was. Why do you say he was trying to hurt you, kill you, other things? Because he would actively manipulate my thought patterns, consciously manipulate my thought patterns to guide me to do shit that could have killed me. He didn't understand that he was literally running me into a fucking grave because what is a means to an end energy. It doesn't understand. It doesn't have a bigger picture understanding of what the fuck's going on. It's just worried about what it thinks, who it thinks it is in this one moment, and not about universal ordering. We're going to sit back and we're going to channel Thought Me, Bayal, as well as Rabbi Yeshua, Jesus Christ. My soul said, hey, no, actually finish that thought. I was just going to leave it. Now I perceive that my soul is like, hey, Ashley, is that energy that you experienced your divine counterpart as, that's not just insert his name. That's humanity. That's the human energy. Magnified. So you can perceive it. You both can perceive it. Spirit can perceive it. Universe can perceive it to create wellness and balance. To evolve the energy of humanity into wellness and balance, to assist with uplifting, regeneration, galactic creation, as well as all things. Synonymous with all things, humanity, galactic creation, all things are truly one. Synonymous. And that's a divine revelation I received in this moment because I've been seething on the inside. So much so, shout out to the Ancestral Force. One of the transmissions, I was intuitively guided to name it The Rise of Tiamat. From the Sumerian god pantheon. goddess pantheon. Tiamat is goddess of the underworld. My soul is saying to you right now that seething, that anger that's in your heart space, it's percolating your heart space, mind, body, in your soul, from how you experience your divine counterpart. That was part of the makings of you. It was also keeping you in a box, limitations. To where you couldn't branch out, rise, mind, body, soul, spirit, to who you were created to be, actually. I was pissed. Seething in my heart space. I've been working through it in the whole podcast. You'll hear it. I'll link below Twin Flames plus the 2029 prophecy. I'll link it below in the description of this video. This is not orthodox spirituality. And the divine told me, channel through me, I'll link it below, timeline jumping, I'm getting unorthodox. Or rather, humanity, you're coming to greater perspective, perception of what always has been. It's not cookie cutter. It's not one note. It's not what you think it should be or would be, could be. It's what it needs to be. Multidimensionality, unconventional, unorthodox, to create the evolution of all things. I'm going to link below Twin Flame plus the 2029 prophecy, as well as timeline jumping. The divine was like, baby, I'm getting unorthodox. Let's get into it. I was like, the term God or the divine is like, who are you talking about, Ashley? Like, it triggers things in our inner space to get reactionary when we talk about God, the divine, all the things, where we want to argue, be competitive, all the things, because what we identified as fragmentation or preferences or theology or ideologies, instead of understanding how all of it is one, it co-creates and works together. Being open and understanding, when I walk out the door today, I'm going to experience differences. Because I'm a multidimensional being living in a multidimensional creation. I was created to experience different dimensions of myself that I'm unconsciously aware of in order to grow myself into more wellness, balance, and more conscious awareness, conscious embodiment of my wholeness, my oneness with all things. How did we perceive before? We want things the way we want it. We only chill, hang out with, befriend people that are like us, have things in common with us. We only gravitate, we only gravitate towards things that are like us. Coming out of the cocoon, the calcification, understand when I walk out the door today, I'm going to guarantee I'm experiencing differences. And I'm only experiencing myself to grow and evolve into more greater conscious awareness and wellness. And I'm not going to judge, shame, blame, resent, point fingers at myself. I'm going to learn about myself today. You hear the word God, you get divine Christian, you get combative, all the things. I'm going to go ahead and share the divine revelation alert. I'm sharing the divine revelation alert. Why, Ashley? We're doing so much healing and things. The ancestral forces said they got to go to the moon to remember who they are. I saw it in my mind. So I have a song. I'm a singer. Like I said earlier, I'm a singer-songwriter. I have a song called Ghost of My Future, meaning my higher.
Ghost of my future, yeah. Infinite potential, no longer obscure. Ghost of my future.
My higher ghost, meaning my higher self or my light body self, right? Or more evolved self in any moment. I channeled and sang, went to the moon to remember who I was. Call me Ocean. That's the Ocean story. She went to the moon to remember her goddess presence. Baby, my mind's eye, after I got this divine revelation from the inner space, From the oneness of all things, baby, I saw gods and goddesses from all types of dimensions, the galactic creation, humanity, planet Earth, from planet Earth. I saw all, in my mind's eye, I saw all types of ancestral forces flying to the moon. They were like, oh shit, let me go find out who I am. Oh, all the gods and goddesses, all the things. Like, shit, I need to go find out who I am. Ashley, what was the divine revelation you received? The reason why we got so triggered when we heard God, divine, infinite, infinity, primes. When we hear these terms, we get triggered in our inner space. Allah, Shekinah, Hashem. We get triggered in our inner space because these are paradigms or energies that are disembodied or unembodied, unembodied or embodied, that identify themselves as totality without the remembrance that their totality is still tandem with the greater perspective, perception, dimensionality beyond what it perceives itself at any time. To where when we align to these deities, gods and goddesses, paradigms, understandings of universal forces, creation, we're aligning to a fragment of the potentials of what truly is. We deify, make icons, idols out of anything. We're aligning our potential to grow and evolve spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically to a fraction of our potentials. We align we create a ceiling for ourselves. I got this divine revelation in my inner space earlier today, I think. And I was like, shoot. I was like, whoa, shoot. And I'm getting the divine revelation from my inner space. This energy is stemming from a channeling that I did within Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment. It's already posted because this won't come out for months. It's already posted, Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment. I'll link it below in the description. Part 1 and Part 2. Where I channel Osiris, Isis, Rabbi Yeshua, or Jesus Christ with Mary Magdalene, bunnies of the great beyond, beings of the great beyond, Norse gods, Thotmi, Thothi, Eleni, and Tahuti, and probably some other ancestral forces. I got a lot of healing. We garnered a lot of healing and evolution. And this divine revelation of aligning our conscious awareness of ourselves and our potentials to any embodied or unembodied universal force, God presence, is only putting a ceiling on our potentials. Because my soul taught me this. And I'll be trying, and I practice this. I study this. I let myself grow into greater embodiment of this. Every microcosm is a macrocosm. My soul's like, hey, Ashley, however limitless you believe you are, any being, the most limitless, abundant, universal creator God, baby, let's say Maha Avatar Babaji, in Indian culture, is the God of all gods, the guru of all gurus. So understanding Maha Avatar Babaji has infinite beings that are what we would perceive as above him, or have a greater conscious awareness of themselves than what Maha Avatar Babaji has. Whenever we identify any being or thing as the totality, the oneness of all things, supreme, we're putting a ceiling, a cap on our potentials. God says you're limitless. I want all of divine creation to journey, or all the limitless potentials and all the limitless paradigms beyond my synaptical understanding, to grow into greater awareness of yourselves, of your potentials through your inner space, how you relate with yourself and your reality, to grow into greater unconditional love or limitless potentials, limitless embodiment of your limitless potentials. The divine wants to see, what do we create? I saw in my mind's eye the ancestral forces flying to the moon. We will get triggered on the inside when we hear Allah, Shekinah, Hashem, all the things, because we're hitting the ceiling. Our energies are hitting ceilings, and our soul's trying to tell us, no, there's more. So we get frustrated, we get angry, and that it's an internal feud, an internal war, an internal energetic imbalance that we cast, project external to ourselves, in war, disputes with people, all the things. It's really our soul trying to tell us, no, there's more. Yeah, dig into this paradigm that you enjoy, you identify as, all the things. And yes, it is truth. But there's limitless, countless, infinite other truths. Seeking you shall find. All right, y'all. I'm going to sit back and we're going to transcendently channel Thought Me, Universal Creator, Experiencer God, Bayal, which is now, full circle moment, alert. It's been uplifted and aligned with universal forces, universal understandings. Bayal, Universal Creator, Experiencer, God Energy. Rabbi Yeshua, Universal Creator, Experiencer, God Energy. God Goddess Energy. I'm going to sit back and transcendently channel. You're more than welcome to close your eyes as well, to allow any energies and messages that want to uplift your inner space to do so. Activate your inner space to do so. Do not replace into more wellness and balance as universally aligned, universally assigned for the upliftment and regeneration of all things. Do not replace anything you experienced. Do not replace your professional medical advice with anything you hear or experience within Kingdom Things Podcast with Nicole Phillips. Thank you ahead of time, ancestral forces that have been present, moving through myself. The prefaces that are I. Thank you to ancestral forces flowing through at this moment. Thank you, Ashley, Thought Me, present, speaking, initiating this channeling panel of gurus of ancient history, pantheons, and beyond, as we remember that we are not only the clouds, but we are the stars that supersede the parameters of the clouds. We are the dust molecules, atoms, nucleus, follicles, nuclei, follicles that supersede the star lines. Even. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you, Thought Me. I was like, share more. He said, no, Ashley, that's it. Thank you, Thought Me. Thank you. Thank you. Ashley is a little perturbed, confused, as my energy rolled through her soul space with a tenor that she's not familiar with when it comes to channeling I, Rabbi Yeshua, Jesus Christ, commonly, most notably known as Jesus Christ. I, Rabbi Yeshua, I've grown and evolved, and I tell Ashley this all of the time. I've grown and evolved just as she grows and evolves. In my 6th dimensional, 7th dimensional, 8th dimensional being now, let's go, Rabbi. Let's go. Ashley's interjecting. Thank you, Ashley. Ashley's interjecting. I shared within her podcast, she'll link it below, that I was a 6th dimensional being. She'll specify which transmission this is. I shared that I was a 6th dimensional being. This was not too long ago. I am now a 6th to the 8th kind being of divine creation. Just as you grow humanity, other dimensions of creation that you perceived as infinite, that you perceived as a Lord, that you perceived as the Almighty, the Omnipotent. We grow and evolve tandem with you. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you, Thought Me. Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you, Thought Me. Thank you, Rabbi Yeshua. Thank you, Thought Me. Okay, we're about to channel Bay, y'all. This is the first time. I'm laughing because I referenced Baal before, and I'm gonna link it, the installment below. It's Kingdom Things podcast. I channeled I can't remember what it's called, but I remember pecuniary interest is the title. Pecuniary interest. I'll specify, y'all, where I referenced Baal. Because I was talking about Baal, I was like, Baal don't know nothing about universal presence. Don't get mad at me, Baal. I said, don't get mad at me, Baal. I'm just speaking what I know. So I spoke about Baal. And in some spheres of our dimensionality, Baal is demonized as a demonic force. Everything we saw as demonic, it was truly a mirror of us and our fragment, as well as our fragmentation or our preferences, magnified to show us who we are, who we have chosen to be, to show us who we have in us, to deep dive into energies, to grow into more conscious awareness of our limitless potentials. I'm nervous. I'm excited. Let's go ahead and channel Baal. Thank you, Baal. Thank you, Ashley, for allowing my presence, the energy that is I, Baal, to transmit my existence in your podcast, in your offerings to humanity, the community called humanity of planet Earth. As I am preferences of preferences, or I have a pantheon of deities in which I sought as supreme. I am what you would call diluted universal forces, diluted to the embodiment of myself, where I saw myself as the totality of myself as a fraction of the scale of wholeness. And you, humanity, identified as my fraction, as you identified with the preferences that you were able to manifest through my fraction. As all of divine creation rises, my fraction that I am, that Baal is rising and expanding in conscious awareness as well. Universal alignment, universal balance as well. In order for me to rise, humanity must do the same. No longer identifying as fractions, external from the self, truly one with the self. No longer demonizing your fragmentation or your preferences and what your preferences have manifested, seemingly external from the self. Understanding that what your fragmentations have manifested, your fractions, your separation, are dimensions of wholeness, limitless potentials. To garner wisdoms, evolution, shape, form, community, beings that are many, humanity, with variances, vibrancies, cultures, traditions, belief systems that manifest more cultures with balance and wellness, as well as evolution. As beings of galactic creation, thank you, Ashley. I want to thank y'all so much for tuning into this Kingdom Things podcast with Nicole Phillips, the Convening, the Shift, Part 1. These transmissions, all of Kingdom Things podcasts, as well as the convening, are intended to be satiated in a way that we understand that it's not for instant gratification, but it's to acclimate our beingness to higher vibrational awareness, expanded bandwidth awareness, expanded consciousness awareness and embodiment, to grow and evolve our mind, body, soul, spirit, to more conscious awareness, conscious remembrance from the inside, to limitless potentials in which we are. Again, like, share, comment, subscribe, follow if you're watching on YouTube and or Spotify to assist with proliferating the Kingdom Things podcast with Nicole, Phillips journey community, as well as journey to a healed and balanced human culture, planet Earth. Follow if you're watching on Spotify. Subscribe if you're watching on YouTube to join the Kingdom Things podcast with Nicole Phillips community, to more greater conscious awareness of your limitless potentials that stem from inside of you, your soul, your existence. It's truly one with all things. Again, my name is Nicole Phillips. I'm not only a divine channeler, which you can find my channel works within Kingdom Things podcast with Nicole Phillips. We're here. Oneness Connection, energetic upliftment. Again, available to stream on YouTube for free. I referenced it earlier. Powwow sessions. We call them the inner space. Evolved paradigms of humanism, from limitation lack to wellness, abundance, limitless potentials. Again, Oneness Connection, energetic upliftment is available to stream on YouTube, link below. I'm also an author. I authored the Unconditional Love Literature parcel. Rather I channeled it. My soul's like, hey, Ashley, you don't remember who you are. We're going to write some books to you to help you remember it. So I channel the Unconditional Love Literature parcel. It's a 3-part book series. The first 2 parts are Asia's story. The first installment, Coming Home, the story of Asia. Second installment, the story of Asia, I'm Home. Asia is a teenage girl growing up in the New York City foster care system. She's catalyzed onto her spiritual awakening journey when she meets her twin flame Chase in the hallway of her School of Manhattan Prep. She goes through a lot of existential crises, as we would perceive it, which they were, which assisted her with aligning with greater conscious awareness and embodiment of her limitless potentials, to grow and evolve into more wellness and balance, limitless potentials, simultaneously co-create a reality that mirrors her wellness, balance, limitless potentials. The third part of the Unconditional Love Literature parcel is My Other Half. My Other Half is a twin flame divine counterpart journey back home to God inside. One soul, 2 bodies, many lifetimes. They know they're supposed to co-create a love and a life together. Each lifetime says that their love can't work. They will co-create a love and a life together. Which life, which love story, under which circumstances, the book is prophetic. This is the Unconditional Love Literature parcel, which is available to stream, to purchase within the Amazon bookstore. If you're doing digital downloads, it's 3 separate digital downloads, $29.97 plus tax for all 3 books. If you're doing all 3 stories, all 3 books. If you're doing paperback copies sent to your home, 2 bindings, all 3 stories. The first 2 stories, Asia's story, comes in 1 binding. The third story, My Other Half, comes in a separate binding. $29.98 plus tax nonetheless for all 3 stories. 2 paperback copies shipped to your home. The links are specified below within the description of this transmission. Again, you're able to purchase the books within the Amazon bookstore. I'm also a home chef, y'all. I enjoy cooking. Whatever the ancestral forces of the stove tell me to put in the pot, the pan, the baking dish. This is what we put into the pot, the pan, the baking dish. We go to the grocery store. We get divine revelations. We laugh. We joke. We kiki. We have a good time. We cook. Magic Meals with Nicole Phillips is available to stream on YouTube. Link below. We talked about Asia's animated series. We're about to roll into an episode, y'all. Long transmission. And this is maybe part 1. Over 2 hours. It's all good. It's all abundant. About to roll into an episode of Asia's story, the animated series. I channel my extrasensory perception, divine wisdoms into the animated series for your enjoyment, soul remembrance, activation. Do not replace anything you experience within the animated series. Do not replace your professional medical advice with anything you experience within the animated series. I do take individual powwow session orders. I channel within the video energies and messages in which your soul, evolution, your oneness of all things wants you to experience, to grow and evolve into greater conscious awareness. You're able to book your powwow session within the Kingdom Things podcast, Healing Home Square portal below in the description of this video. Talked about my music a little bit. I'm a singer-songwriter. It's another way I channel my energies and messages into offerings for humanity as we grow and evolve into more wellness balance. Nicole music is available to stream on YouTube, many genres, a lot of content over there as well. Link below in the description of this video. I love you. Loving yourself. Self-love is the best love because you have to love yourself in the way in which you want your reality to love you back. Self-love is the best love because you are loving your truth. Choose good that love to yourself first. Self-love is the best love because it helps you become consciously aware of and embody more of your limitless potentials. My soul's like, hey, Ashley, don't forget to share Out of the Box. We're also going to roll into an episode of Out of the Box. It's a live series that was gifted to myself to co-create, to share with this reality as we awaken. It's about awakening within a dream to our limitless potentials. Let's go ahead and roll into the episode of the Asia's Story, the animated series, as well as Out of the Box. Out of the Box, you're able to stream Nicole music on YouTube. Go to the playlist section, tap on Out of the Box to stream all the episodes that are produced and available to view. I'm going to see y'all later. Bye.
I thought I had awakened from the crypt.
If you read the Unconditional Love Literature parcel, now available in the Amazon bookstore, you would know that in my dimensional universe of origins, I was incubated for the first 3 to 4 years of my life.
Asia, do you want to eat out for breakfast?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Are you okay?
Hey, my name is Asia, and I am an interdimensional being. I know. I just found out myself. Everything that I thought was my truth was a lie. I chose to continue this life because of the one thing that I know isn't a lie. Love.
You seem a bit shaken. I energetically sensed you were working through some things. I didn't pry too much. I wanted to respect your process.
Possible timeline outcomes. Below divine order. Highest timeline. Every energy I have encountered as a soul. So, not just this lifetime, was part of my process of becoming. I had to acknowledge myself, or my process, or every energy I have encountered in order to fully embrace my divine presence. And so it is, with ease and grace. My journey of self-realization has been just that, a journey. Is just that, a journey. Now that I am embodying more of the energies of my existential truths, I am being aligned with opportunities that allow me to not only redefine my contributions to the planet by seeding my authentic soul energies into the planet, which contributes to a healthy and balanced human culture. I get to experience a more exuberant reality that reflects my authenticities.
Hello, Asia.
Hello.
Do you know what I am?
You're Melvin the Great.
Yes, you are correct. Can I show you something?
Show me something?
You are magic.
How did we?
Are you ready to see more?
Yeah, you see, I am. Sir Melvin the Great.
I felt so. But you have trepidations?
Yeah. I'm sure in your first, I don't know what you would call it, evolutionary cycle training day of transcending realities in your waking state, you had some trepidation too.
Are you kidding me? I was born a pro. Shall we transcend to another reality? Sounds like the storm is moving closer.
The moon?
Sure, dear Asya. If you presume this to be the moon it is.
I think I'm understanding. All is the mind. We project and create our reality with our minds. Allowing myself to embody these understandings and experience myself or these understandings in a greater way is the journey.
Precisely. You pick up rather quick for an earthling.
Thank you, Sir Melvin the Great. I have a knowing that this is just the beginning. Meeting and learning from the ancestors, my ancestors, your ancestors, I am being guided to utilize the wisdom I procure to create. I was gifted with soul knowings in regards to what I intended to create on a soul level or God level. Whenever God or creation requires a dimension or aspect in order to evolve and or rejuvenate, the aspect or dimension comes into being or creation, procreation.
What am I procreating? A human culture with no death, no disease, no poverty, no famine, no war, world peace. Remember, Asya, you can't do it alone.
You don't want to do it alone. As an infinite soul, I have had infinite relationships that subconsciously created dissonance within myself. Dissonance that kept me from realizing internal validation and feelings of worthiness of who I am in my honest truths, in my truest truths. Unconditional love, which made it difficult for me to be unconditionally loving to all things, all people. Let's be grateful. End with a celebratory note. Utilize this wisdom, soul divine alignment, to create harmony and peace instead of war and chaos. And so it is.
My name is Asya, and I'm a teenage witch. Just kidding. I am a starseed. My story is much like humanity's story. I awakened to some pretty spectacular things about myself. Coming home, the story of Asya, followed by the story of Asya, I'm Home. The book series that introduces the book. After returning from a day's trip, I have read my attempts letter. He speaks of my father releasing him from imprisonment and the fate of death. He pleads for us to run away together. This plea is one of which I'm in no state to decline. My other half, available in the Amazon bookstore. I feel as though I was born here on earth to find you. I was created to find my person, the unconditional love literature parcel, now available in the Amazon bookstore. My name is Ashley Nicole. I am an ageless being. Well, I'm 31, with utilizing the paradigms of space and time as known by third-dimensional humanity to quantify my existence. My consciousness is focused primarily as Ashley Nicole, human of planet Earth. I awakened within the dream. I am limitless existence, or energies of the infinite sea, or spirit, having infinite experiences just in this one moment, and a gander of infinite experiences within this now moment. It appears as if I am putting my wig on in my bathroom mirror, when in another dimension of the self, in just this past moment of infinite existence, I assisted with disarming the pardon collider to allow for the mass awakening of the human consciousness. Grand Rising Earth Dweller.
Grand Rising M, and thanks again for your assistance with everything. I requested for a regular guide that I can expect to be available to assist me with settling into remembrance and mission. I'm super appreciative. We've been paired to work with one another.
Remembering into multidimensionality within colonial life is a vibrant experience. I'm glad to help. How's Kingdom Things podcast going? You truly have the ether stirring into universal order, divine alignment.
For the upliftment and rejuvenation of all things. The podcast is great. I mean, I'm finally feeling the heart connection to the podcast, I suppose there's always been.
Surely.
The podcast has been an intuitive mandate that came into fruition with following my heart space and inner guidance. My mind is acclimated and excited about, well, all of this, being awakened within the dream. We were created, love is on fire. There are you and I, my civilizations that are top is on fire.